You tried to be kind. You replied fast. You gave attention. And somehow, people ignored you. But the moment you became distant, something strange happened. Suddenly, they started noticing you. They texted first. They asked where you were. They started paying attention. This is not coincidence. It is psychology. Human nature often ignores what feels guaranteed. When someone knows you will always be there, they stop valuing your presence, not because they hate you, but because the human brain adapts quickly to comfort. What is always available becomes invisible. Think about it. When someone replies instantly every time, you stop appreciating the message. When someone is always around, their presence feels normal. And what feels normal rarely feels valuable. But the moment that pattern breaks, the brain reacts. Absence creates awareness, and awareness creates attention. This is why distance changes how people see you. It interrupts their expectations. It breaks the comfort they built around your presence, and suddenly your value becomes visible again. But there is a deeper psychological reason behind this behavior. The first lesson is simple. Humans respect what they cannot control. When you are always available, people feel they control your attention. They know you will respond. They know you will stay. They know you will forgive. So your presence becomes predictable. And predictable things rarely create excitement or respect. But when you become distant, control disappears. They no longer know what you will do, and uncertainty triggers curiosity. Curiosity creates attention, and attention creates respect. The second lesson is about scarcity. In psychology, scarcity increases value. Things that are rare feel important. Things that are everywhere feel ordinary. A person who is always available becomes emotionally common, but a person who is selective with their time becomes valuable, not because they are better, but because their presence feels limited, and the human brain instinctively protects what feels limited. The third lesson is about emotional energy. People often ignore those who constantly give energy, but they become alert when that energy disappears. Imagine someone who always checks on you, always supports you, always listens. Over time, you begin to expect it, but one day they stop. They become quiet. They step back. Suddenly, something feels wrong. You notice the silence. You feel the absence. And only then do you realize the value they had in your life. This pattern happens everywhere, in friendships, in relationships, even in workplaces. The person who constantly seeks approval is often ignored, but the person who quietly focuses on their own path often attracts attention, because independence signals strength, and strength commands respect. This idea has existed for thousands of years. Stoic philosophers understood it deeply. They believed that true power comes from self-control, not from chasing approval, not from demanding attention, but from being complete within yourself. A Stoic person does not beg to be noticed. They do not explain their worth. They simply walk their path. And strangely,
That calm independence makes others curious. People start watching. People start wondering. People start paying attention. Because confidence without validation is rare, and rare things attract interest. There is also a painful truth here. Sometimes the people who ignore you are not bad people. They simply became comfortable with your constant presence. They stopped seeing your value because it never disappeared. But when you step back, you break that illusion. You remind them that your presence is not guaranteed, and suddenly the dynamic changes. I remember a moment in my life when I realized this. There was a group of people I always helped. I replied fast. I supported them. I was always available. But slowly, I noticed something. They rarely reached out first. They rarely checked on me. It felt one-sided. So one day, I stopped. Not out of anger, not out of revenge. I simply focused on myself. I became quieter. I stopped chasing conversations. And something surprising happened. The same people who ignored me started reaching out. They asked where I was. They asked why I disappeared. And that moment taught me something powerful. Respect often begins where desperation ends. When you stop chasing attention, your presence becomes stronger. When you stop proving your value, your silence becomes powerful. Because people start realizing something. You are not waiting for their validation. You are living your life. And that independence changes everything. So what should you do? The answer is not manipulation. The answer is balance. Do not disappear to punish people. Disappear to build your own life. Focus on your goals. Protect your time. Invest your energy in growth. When you stop making others the center of your attention, you become the center of your own life. And ironically, that is when people start noticing you. Because confidence is attractive, independence is powerful, and distance reveals value. So remember this. If people only notice you when you become distant, it is not a sign to chase them harder. It is a sign to respect your own presence. Your attention is valuable. Your time is valuable. And the people who truly respect you will never need your absence to recognize your worth. Subscribe for Psychology and Power.